Welcome back to more Heroes of the Storm action with Road to BlizzCon on Khaldor TV. Today we're heading into the semi-final of the winner bracket where we see Bob face Gamers2. The cool thing about this series is that no matter who wins here is going to qualify for the European final in Prague. Everything's on the line. Of course, the team that loses will still have another chance going through the losers bracket and also qualifying for the big tournament at the beginning of October. But right now this match is super important for both of them. And we're starting things off with a match on Tomb of the Spider Queen, where we have again a Tacita being played. Bob is relying on the Tacita here. They also have a Khaldor, and they're running this with a double front line. Pretty standard still to go into that double tank meta. This time we're having a Tyrael together with a Johanna for them. And on the other side of the team we have the Polish team, Gamers2. They're running this with a Zeratul and a Jaina amongst other heroes. So pretty cool setup here for that Blizzard, and also a very aggressive setup, especially with Zeratul usually shining on this map with an auto attack build, focusing on seasoned marksman stacks and trying to just add that damage in. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great series, guys. Bob and Gamers2 are two of the top teams in Europe, and well, we're going to find out together now which team is going to take the lead in the best of 3 series here at the semi-final in the winner bracket at the Road to BlizzCon qualifier. Game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We are in the winner bracket of the Road to BlizzCon qualifier, the second qualifier, and we see Bob going up against Gamers2. The team that wins this series is qualified for the European final in Prague. And to the left side of the map, we have Team Bob with Bakery on Uther, ADRD on Tacita, Snitch on Khaldor, Zarmany on Johanna, and Aethero Angel is playing Tyrael. Currently, to the right side of the map, we are seeing their opponent. It is the Polish team Gamers2 with Shiku on Leoric, Bacek on Nazeebo. We have Nika on Jaina, Juvo on Zeratul, and Leo from Poland playing Malfurion. This is just going to be the first map, of course, and well, I'm pretty hyped about this one. I'm Khaldor, with me is Techa, and we're going to bring you the coverage here of the winner bracket semi-final between Bob and Gamers2.
It always makes me happy when a Vera Angel gets Tyrael, just due to appropriateness' sake.
Yeah, well, he is actually pretty solid on this hero in particular, but right now we have in the mid lane both of the teams going straight for an early attempt to burst down these waves and maybe get a kill in, trying to establish dominance here as ADRD on his money pick is starting to move down to the bot lane to contest Nazeebo here.
Having a look at the talents for the early levels, we have globes, globes, and more globes. With 3 globe talents per team. Oh, we're seeing a bit of damage onto Juvo, but he's able to back up Bakery. Gets rooted, but heals himself. We have seasoned marksman onto that Zeratul, in fact. And like only 2 globe talents on the side of Gamers2 as Death Ritual. Despite having an almost identical icon to the Mana Addict of Khaldor, it's not a globe ability.
One of the things that's extremely important here as well, which is kind of cool, is that we have, of course, ADRD now playing for Bob. ADRD was a player for Gamers2 for a long time, but got discarded by the team. They let him go, and then he joined up with the rest of the players that you see here for Bob, and they have been super successful ever since. In most of the qualifiers that they played in for other tournaments, they were successful, even taking the top spot. Zeratul taken out in the mid lane right now, so already a good start for Bob, and this is, of course, also a bit of a grudge match, therefore. I mean, we have the discarded player of Gamers2 facing them now in this super important match here, and both teams will just give their all here. They know that this is the match that they need to win to play in Prague at the European final, and it adds some added spice to it that they have a player on the opponent's side who has been playing for them in the past.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on this map. There's a lot of history, like you said, with ADRD being a former Gamers2 player. There's also the fact that at the very first Offline Heroes event that we cast together, these two teams did go up against each other when Bob, or at least a couple players from Bob, were on SK Gaming, and Gamers2 did knock them out of the tournament. So there's so much history between these two teams.
And especially Bob, even though not picked up by an organization yet, they have been dominant in a lot of the tournaments that they played, the open tournaments that they participate nearly every week. And right now, of course, they are trying to make their way through the Road to BlizzCon qualifier to at least participate in Prague at the European final. A lot of action already in the mid lane here. Aethero Angel has to use the Druid's Mind to jump away, and we still see that battle at the bot lane with ADRD and Bacek on Tacita and Nazeebo.
Yeah, and Bacek actually the player who did come in to replace ADRD, so it's again a very history-filled lane there.
Yeah, for now we have on Jaina, Conjurer's Pursuit. We really didn't mention that talent too much. We were talking about it a bit earlier, who picked up the Globe talents here. But it's interesting to see this over a potential Deep Chill or Lingering Chill, which is usually the level 1 talent that you see. But we mentioned already in the past that this is a map where you can just like get globes from so many lanes. And both of the teams are rotating between the top and the mid lane. So you get an extra amount of globes here. And Jaina is trying to use Conjurer's Pursuit to never run out of mana there, giving up a potential Arcane Intellect on level 4 and instead going into Snowstorm, which has become a much more popular talent.
Yeah, so that is quite an interesting choice, but could work out very well for her.
It's just pretty cool to see how the teams are currently adjusting their builds to the maps, to the new patch as well. And an attack up at the top lane against Leo. Malfurion in trouble, and he gets dropped.
Avera with the incredible body blocks there, just teleporting behind Malfurion and preventing him from escaping, despite the fact that the other person on the team trying to body block was rooted. He was able to fill in that gap, and a good dimensional shift from ADRD to prevent himself going down to Yuva.
There's so much pressure on ADRD now at the bot lane. I mean, he's the one who has to be super careful because Tacita is always trying to jump in and take him down here. We have now up to the top here Snitch and Zarmony currently trying to push this lane back. Tyrael, by the way, went into... Oh, there's the kill! So many gems now on the ground. ADRD should have gone back to heal. The problem is that they then lose experience on the lane, and Bakery was just a bit too late to relieve him at the bot lane. And that was a chance that the Polish team took immediately and dropped him.
Yeah, Zeratul just waiting down there for his opportunity. Avera Angel, pretty far forward, does take a little bit of damage, but able to tank it all up and is now here to help Bakery prevent the turn-in of Bashek.
We have no cleanse being used on the side of Malfurion. Cleanse, of course, got changed in the last patch, so now that pre-cleanse is not available to you anymore. You can just cleanse out a stun, and therefore Malfurion deciding to go into the Enduring Growth instead, even though there is a Tyrael on the other side that has a potential judgment that he can use for the initiation. Pre-cleanse, losing that makes that talent, of course, a lot worse than it was before.
Yeah, it is pretty fantastic for them. We're going to see Gamers2 back away from this as the Web Weavers are available for Bob and Bakery. Waiting here, wants to try and get the stun. There is the stun combo with the Gravity Lapse of Kale Pass, but nice route from Malfurion. Gives Bashek a chance, but he goes back in here, takes another hit. He is able to survive though. Zeratul, not so lucky in the top lane. He does go in the mid lane, sorry, he does go down.
But crazy escape here by Nazebo. I mean, that Bashik was able to get away from this is just incredible. We have now the Web Weavers pushing in on all of the lanes, and the defense for Gamers2 has started, but they are falling behind in experience. We're seeing currently also Deep Shift taken on level 7 for Tacita, not going into the static charge, which is oftentimes the talent where you get a lot of your damage from. So trying a completely different build on Tacita for this one, more of a utility build, which is kind of interesting since they are running only one real damage dealer. Of course, Tyrael can put quite some numbers out as well, but it is mostly Kel'Thas that they're currently relying upon.
Yeah, this is very much an alpha-style build of Tastar. Just the fact that if you get Prescience and the healing Dimensional Shift talent, you do heal most of your health as the healing does stack with that increased duration. But, like you said, you miss out on a lot of damage, so very heavily relying on Kel'Thas for this build.
One of the things that's also noteworthy, and I was actually trying to talk about it earlier when we had the action start, and as I do it again, we have Zeratul under even more pressure. Shiko moving in with a skeleton swing. They're both trying to go for the turn, and the Web Weavers are descending as Gamers2 completes the turn in. But quite important here is to know the synergy between Regeneration Master for Tyrael on level 1 and the Amplified Healing on level 4. That actually combos together, so Ethereal Angel in the later stages of the game will have an incredible amount of hit point regeneration.
Yeah, he could even take to combo even more with that Regen Master attack, which I cannot remember the name of, the one that gives him regen when he's attacked while shielded. Jehu having to get the hell out of there. Gets a heal from Leah from Korea, but this does give Bob a chance to just very quickly wipe out this middle Web Weaver. But level 10, now available for Gamers2.
Yeah, and they have that Blessed Shield. There is a Judgment, a lot of stuns available to them. Archon as well. And we're currently seeing them also with the Phoenix plus Divine Shield.
Ravenous Spirit coming in for Gamers2 here. First time we have seen it in this tournament at least. So that is pretty awesome to see. Let's see if Bashek can get that damage down. There's a decent amount of stuns to try and stop him with this.
Yeah, the bot lane is being heavily assailed by Gamers2. The Polish team, they want the fort, and it looks like they're going to get it here. Ravenous Spirit is going to be great for them. It got buffed in the last patch and was severely changed by Blizzard. Here comes the engagement, on the other hand, going straight for the kill, and they get it against Jaina in the backline. We have Bashik immediately with the Ravenous Spirit trying to chase down Johanna, but he is a bit too late for that. And now it looks like Leoric is going to drop Snitch. No, what a shield!
The Water Elemental, though, chasing Snitch. It was blinded, but the final hit of its duration able to take down Snitch. Bakery now in full retreat. ADRD also trying to get away, takes quite a bit of damage, but that is a 1-for-1. Both of the mages get taken down.
And experience is nearly the same here. It's 4 kills against 2. We have a lot of gems on the other hand for Gamers2, and they are turning in again. And that's going to be another set of web weavers.
Yeah, I love the balls on Johanna, though. It gets hit by a Ravenous Spirit, and instead of trying to run away or shield it, just charges Nazebo down. Just like, you're cancelling this, or I'm gonna make you cancel it.
Well, it worked, and Nazebo at some point was like, screw that, and runs away. So he was definitely scared. If you have a Paladin charging in right there, yeah, that didn't work out quite well. But in this case, Ravenous Spirit, it's a talent or it's a heroic ability that a lot of the teams have to start experimenting with again after the recent patch. And now we're seeing it in play here in such an important game. It's always awesome to see that. Attack again up at the top, and they drop Zeratul within a second. There's just no cleanse, nothing to really help out against the Judgment, even against that stun. And they are currently paying the price for it. There's a Blessed Shield for Zarmony, and they will always be able to jump a target and try to drop it before the fight even starts.
Yeah, so much damage potential here for Team Bob. They're now going to defend this top lane. The Web Weaver already on less than a third health, and that will get taken down very quickly. Fair Angel having to back up a bit as Shihu was able to use his Drain Hope.
Yeah, down to the bot lane is currently Snitch on his Kalthus, who's trying to make sure that at least this Web Weaver is not going to reach that wall. Already dropping this out. Both of the teams are very close to level 30 now. Athera Angel and Bakery are positioned in the mid lane to try and get not only a few more gems, but also prevent the opponent to take down the well, which is going to give them a lot of sustain here. It's always ADRD living a life on the edge with his Tassadar. They really want him, and Athera Angel is trying to help him. Now jumps in too, and they have most of their heroics ready again. Also, we're gonna see in just a bit Judgment off cooldown.
Yeah, and with Judgment, they can go in. Kael'thas will be rejoining them soon. Both teams level 13 pretty much simultaneously here. So Chain Bomb now available for that Kael'thas. The Prescient for the Tassadar coming in. And very defensive talents on the side of Gamers2 with double Ice Block.
We've talked about that Ice Block earlier, and especially since they banned out Rhaegar over Malfurion, one of the things that they already considered, Bob that is, was that we will not see the life seed on level 13 for Malfurion because he has to be careful against Judgment. He needs that Ice Block, therefore he will not have as much AoE heal, except of course for Tranquility to deal with the Chain Bombs that we're definitely going to see from Snitch now that he has finally hit level 13.
Solid reactions by Nika there. There's the Judgment on to Vashek, trying to take him down, but everyone was a bit too far back to get the burst that we've seen earlier. Shihu coming in from behind, trying to zone and focus down Snitch here. Here comes the Ravenous, and it takes down Johanna.
Johanna is already dead, but the Ravenous is not going to do much more than that. Can they maybe turn this around? Snitch, on the other hand, is already low, and this is a big problem for Bob right now. Once again, the Athera Angel is about to jump away, but Juve tries to go in with the Zeratul. He tries to chase them down, and the same is also happening to Snitch and Bakery in the backline. Athera Angel just barely getting away, and the stun against Zeratul. Juve has to get away. They lose Johanna, but they don't lose more than that.
Athera Angel with the imposing will talent here, really helping him out when Zeratul tried to chase him down, as it did slow the attack speed and the movement speed of Zeratul as he tried to pick him off.
Bakery and Snitch up at the top lane, gathering more experience for the team. The forts are still alive, so they're still good there. We have Gamers2 so far not losing too much. They didn't lose one of the main structures yet, and they also took down the Siege Giants at the bot lane, which will put additional pressure on this lane, but we already have it being depushed, so that should not be an issue. And again, Bakery and Athera Angel just waiting for a chance. Cooldowns are going to be ready for them in a few seconds, so they could actually take a fight. They have a bit of a timing window now.
Yeah, they're looking for their opportunity as much as they can, but still need to be careful. Bob can still get the burst, but Gamers2 have shown that if Bob mess up that burst, they turn it around so quickly.
Zarmany and ADRD down here. It's like the teams are super careful right now. For the players, they of course know that this can snowball, especially you wanted to hit level 16 a bit faster. And you can tell how both of the teams are roughly at the same amount of experience. They're doing a great job with their rotations. And really cautious play is what they need right now. Only take those fights that you really know you can win, or where you at least face a 5 versus 5 situation. And they are doing extremely well with it. Look at all of these gems that we are seeing currently for Team Bob. They need to turn those in, and this is one of the reasons why they are super careful now how they move on the map.
Yeah, they don't want to get caught off and lose those gems. ADRD taking a huge chunk of health, but Bakery's there to heal him up.
Yeah, currently we have Bakery and ADRD. The Web Weavers are descending again, and that's a big problem now. Once more, they have Tessida moving away with the dimensional shift. He gets healed, but there is immediately the ultimate. They're going for the chain bombs here. There's the stuns as well from the top lane, and the kill against Tessida. No, he gets away in the last seconds. Zarmany with another shield glare, making sure that a few of those shots miss, and Ethereal Angel is still in the thick of things.
Solid prescience there, ADRD saving himself with that talent, but Juve punishing him for even thinking about coming back in, picking him off. Bakery drops the stun onto Zeratul, trying to save his own life, taking a lot of damage though. Divine shields himself to stay alive. Ethereal Angel just zoning for a bit here, and Eldarin's Might back behind the wall.
Yeah, Gamers2 is applying pressure, and a lot of this. 5 kills versus 4 right now, as level 16 is soon to be hit by Team Gamers2. And the one thing that has to happen here is a turn-in for Bob. If they don't get that, they will fall farther and farther behind. Gamers2, on the other hand, they're pressing the advantage that they have, going through the wall at the bot lane. Can they take keep? They have level 16, they have the Web Weaver. It's a very good shot that they have to take down one of the most important structures in the games.
Zarmany and Ethereal Angel coming in from behind though. This is Bob's chance. They do come in here. Where are the heroic Zarmany doing as much as he can? Holy Ground use to slow down the retreat here. And Malfurion has been singled out. He will get taken out. Juve in the backline though, doing so much damage.
And they're going straight for Zeratul. Zeratul is dead, and Jaina is now being attacked. Next, ADRD is moving in against Nika. Ethereal Angel is going straight for Bashik. Looks like Nazeebo might actually die here. Down here with the last second. Tessida gets away, but Zarmany is going to drop it. And at the same time, another ice block to the right, where Ethereal Angel takes down Nazeebo. And look at Chiku. He's already used his Wraith Walk. He is dead, and ADRD escaped over and over and over again now that he finally has access to his dimensional warp.
So many escapes there by Bob. They're immediately moving up to the top lane to take that boss as they have control. They can turn in afterwards, and this is great for them. The full team wipe is exactly what they needed to put themselves in the position to try and take this game. And with this boss, they're looking so solid.
They took Backdraft as well on 16. They have the Holy Renewal. That fight just completely snowballed after they took down the first few targets. And you could really see how they wanted ADRD. They went for him. Tessida was their priority target, and they went for him every single time. And it was just a bit too much. Once that he hit this dimensional warp, he could heal himself up again. He escaped over and over again, and that exposed Jaina. That exposed Nazeebo. All of them got chased down. I really loved, by the way, how they split the team, how they said, alright, Ethereal, you get Nazeebo, and Zarmany, you stay on Jaina, and you guys just take them out. Don't allow them to turn around. Don't allow them to gain some momentum, and it worked beautifully well for them.
Yeah, they did actually try to get Snitch as well, but he positioned himself so far back that the only target low on health was ADRD, who basically baited, knowing he had Prescience and Dimensional Shift up. Just super well played.
And we have now the attack against the keep in the mid lane. There's still a fort being assailed. That boss and the Web Weaver, that perfect timing that they got. They have both of these huge things in the game. And now Chiku, oh, he uses the March of the Black King. He gets healed, but he gets dropped as well. And that's the keep now too. They take down the keep. The boss is still wreaking havoc against the tower here, at least for another second. The bot lane is being pressured as well. And this is another fort that gets destroyed, as we have Bob moving into the mid lane right now. They have a 2-level lead. They are riding that momentum wave that they built up in the last team fight, and they are doing an extremely good job here.
Wow, incredible play there by Bob. Taking down, they have now taken down 3 forts and 1 keep at the 17-minute mark. They're getting close to their level 20s, and that's just going to give them even more control.
They have 100 gems.
Wow.
100! They can turn it basically twice. Like, this is crazy. They get the camp here, but this is Bob saying we have to fight before 20. The problem is they're not going to get that wish granted. In just a second, they're going to have it. Nice holy ground attempt here, but Shihu with his Wraith Walk is able to circumvent it.
Yeah, you can't block a ghost, unfortunately. Shihu, though, is going to be spotted by that Oracle. Tassadar been very on point with that, keeping an eye on where everyone is at all times. Needs to be careful here, though, as he once again finds Yuva.
Yeah, and this is level 20 now. The blue web weavers are descending once again, and we have also another knight camp in the mid lane. That bruiser camp here is going to help push, and this is just bad news right now. It's a 2-level disadvantage that we're seeing Gamers2, and the Polish team is struggling right now. Shihu is moving away here. Thero Angel is trying to block him off and forcing him into the Wraith Walk, and now we have them assailing this wall again with another quick Phoenix already dropped before the web weaver even arrives.
Yuva attempts to drop some damage onto Zarmany, but he is just too tanky at the moment. And Bob just sieging this as much as possible because they know that if Gamers2 come anywhere near that wall, they're going to get hit by a chain bomb.
And here again the pressure against Tassadar, but every single time he just uses his dimensional warp and is nearly at full health again. That self-heal is insane! And now with the level 20 talent, with him using that Twilight Archon, he does so much damage in these fights. It's exactly what they need. The Web Weaver at the top lane is starting to threaten core, and they move in towards that keep in the mid lane as the third Web Weaver is already going straight through that bot lane.
Zeratul trying to do some damage, instead blinks in and out of a into a Phoenix constantly. Both blinks kept him inside that Phoenix circle. Nika trying to get some damage off here, but Aviardi does have prescience up, so even if he was burst here, as long as they didn't kill him quick enough, he would still heal up.
And the bot lane, they have to defend it. Leo and Shihu are trying to do that, but all of those keeps took a lot of damage already. This one nearly down at the bot lane. Also a few points left, and they can of course now quite easily start the next set of turn-ins. They need a few more gems. They don't have what they need for a completed turn-in, but they are very close.
Yeah, they can continue to grab. In the meantime, they just grab objectives, grabbing the easy camp, the only camp left on the map. So those Siege Giants will push in this bot lane and start work on that bottom keep and force a reaction out of Gamers2. So Gamers2 have to choose to either react to defend that Siege Giant camp or attempt to stop Bob from grabbing the rest of the gems.
But Bob is in a spot where they have to make sure that they get their advantage now. I mean, it's only half a level. The Gamers2 is away from level 20, so if Bob really wants to make a play, they have to hurry up with it, since they only have a small timing window where they can still exploit that advantage that they currently have. Snitch is already taking down that wave with an easy vision bomb right there, and in the mid lane we have them going straight for the keep, and this is of course what they try to get right now, as long as they're level 20, as long as they have the talent lead. Get this keep, take down the structure.
They're easily going to get this keep. Kale, we're seeing Shihu actually being dropped very low, and he was standing next to that keep, so even when the Phoenix was attacking him, the splash damage was damaging the keep, so that helped them kill it off quite quickly. Farah getting blocked by the zombie wall, but the shield on him just allows him to wreck through that wall and find an escape path.
There are the 20s. We have the rewind. The Ravenous Spirit, of course, now being used with the Annihilating Spirit. Even better for them. And it looks like Gamers2, they are eager to fight right now. They have lost 2 keeps already. They need to win a battle at some point. They want to avoid the turn-in attempt here. But there they come. And can they maybe win one of these fights? Already a lot of pressure against Tassadar. Shihu slows them down with the Skeleton Swing. Uses the Drain Hope. Leo, can he root somebody? Doesn't look like it. 80 already about to move away. I don't think he has the cooldown ready for another dimension shift, and he doesn't. He goes down, and that was a super important kill.
But now the counter onto Yuva, trying to burst him down. Ravenous Spirit is down here onto a Pharaoh Angel, but it's not actually getting that much. It's now onto Bakery and Zarmany, but they both walk into the maw. Currently only Tassadar down.
Jaina with a Blizzard goes for the kill against Zarmany, and they get it. Maybe no indestructible proc, and what a hit against Shihu. That condemned it work. They get the kill against Zeratul. They nearly got a kill against Jaina. Zarmany is surviving, God knows how. Snitch already moving back in, trying to drop another target here with a living bomb. Doesn't get that wish granted, but it's a 4 versus 4 now, and suddenly it's Bob trying to turn things around and moving straight for another kill.
Clutch heal from Bakery there, keeping Zarmany alive, and like you said, now they're looking for an advantage. The Holy Ground trying to block the escape path of Shihu. Oh, with the chain bomb, will he apply it to Jaina? Yes, he will, but the Storm Shield used to block out most of that damage. And Shihu gets demounted and slowed there by the living bomb on Jaina, and that will be his doom.
Wow, there is so much pressure against Leoric in this game. He's the single tank for his team. It's a double tank composition against a single tank composition, and the damage that we're seeing from Gamers2 is just gigantic. But they have a problem keeping that front line safe and just staying away because there's only one tank to help. That slow is of course amazing, but still, it's the lanes that are getting pushed right now. We have two of the lanes pushing in heavily against Gamers2. In terms of damage, heroic damage is absolutely incredible here. We have 80,000 nearly on the side of Nazebo. When we're looking at a hero like Tassadar, it's 28,000, but Kelthas alone is at 71,000 damage that he was able to throw out against the opponent's heroes.
ADRD once again getting focused down, but he even shielded himself this time, didn't even have to use his Dimensional Shift. Snitch staying well out of sight, well out of the fight, does not want to get focused down. He needs to wait for his opportunity, and now he's gonna have it as his team is caught in the Void Prism. He needs to act the Blizzard, and the Ravenous Spirit do so much damage, but Tassadar is sneaking round to go for Bashek.
And Leoric is already down, Judgment is being used, Juve in the back line, Zeratul gets taken out, Condemned drops him. This is a double kill again, 14 kills against 5, game number 1. It is Bob, they take a huge lead here, but can they finish the job? They have the Web Weavers pushing in against the core, and they kill Nazebo, and this has to be it. At the bot lane, the Web Weaver finishes off the keep, and the rest is now moving in against their core. Bob with 16 kills, they are nearly losing their own Kelthas here in the backline. It's still Shiku, but this is just way too much damage. Bob, they take game number 1, the lead in the best of 3 series here at the winner bracket semifinal at the Road to BlizzCon qualifier number 2, and Bob is in the lead with 1 game. What a match here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. An absolutely sick game to kick things off here in our semi-final. Absolutely amazing play, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Very entertaining map by Bob and Gamers2. And Bob, they take the lead. They are in the 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series now. And Gamers2, of course, they have to be careful here. They want to win the next 2 maps, and they have to start on Cursed Hollow. Map number 2 coming in now. And we are seeing Abathur. Abathur being played together with a Jaina. And one of the big things about Abathur in this patch is that the cooldown on the Ultimate Evolution was reduced by 20 seconds. Yeah, that's right, 20 seconds. From 70 seconds down to 50, so it's going to be much more easier for you to have that copy up during each and every team fight. And with a double Jaina, there's so much burst damage, it's absolutely incredible. Looking on the other side of the roster, we of course see Gamers2 also with a very strong setup here, running a Kelthas as a Gara and putting some additional pressure onto that backline with an Illidan that they currently drafted here. Gamers2 knows that they have to take 2 in a row now. They have to start here on Cursed Hollow, and together we're going to find out if they can do that. Will they be able to tie up the series, or is Bob going to take it with a 2-0 victory? Game number 2, we are on Cursed Hollow, ladies, and currently we have Bob going up against Gamers2 again. This is the semi-final of the round of 8 at the Road to BlizzCon qualifier number 2 in Europe. And if Bob takes another map in this series, then they will play in Prague at the European final. Currently, to the left side of the map, we have Juve on Illidan. We have Leo from Korea on Uther for Gamers2, Nika on Kelthas, Shiku on Johanna, and Bacek on Zagara. To the right side of the map, it is Bob in the lead with 1-0 in this series, with Bakery on Rega, Zarmany on Murden. We have ADRD on his Abathur and Ethereal Angel on Leoric, whereas Snitch is playing Jaina. There was a pretty interesting... Yeah?
Abathur just appeared on the side of the screen. It was funny, like, completely past the tower. It's just like, hi! And then ran away.
That's what he does. The slug is here, guys, and there was a pretty big change to the slug actually, and it was undocumented in the patch, which was kind of funny, because the old cooldown on the heroic ability of Abathur, the ultimate evolution where you copy a hero, was 70 seconds, and undocumented in the patch changes is that it's now 50 seconds, so that's a 20-second reduction in the heroic ability, which basically means that you're gonna have that up every single team fight, and that was not mentioned anywhere. It makes it pretty good, especially when you're running this with the Jaina, so this is what we're currently looking forward to, because Abathur in general was strong in the last patch, and I think in this one it could be absolutely ridiculous.
Right now, we do have an interesting talent on the Leoric here, the Hopelessness talent, which has far too many S's and E's, which increases the range of Drain Hope by 20%, and that's not a talent we often see, as it's almost always reanimation.
Yeah, but it's a talent that I actually like. It's a talent that I personally take on every single map where I don't get enough stacks, like for example Haunted Mines. And they're trying to use that already, but in this case Leo actually got targeted by it instead of Bashik. It would have dropped Zagara here, but Leoric, of course, he can't choose. Like, Leo just threw himself in front of it and was saying, like, I save your Zagara, and he did.
Yeah, it was still pretty interesting. No, Juve with a pretty horrible lane for him up here. Gonna struggle a little bit with this one, but he should be fine.
One of the things that's going to be very interesting... Oh, wow, it's Zarmany up at the top with a good hit against Juve. Oh! Alright, gets away there. But yeah, Abathur was just a second too late. Of course, you have that cooldown when you jump from one symbiote into another. But one of the things that's going to be very interesting in those team fights then later on is what is Uther going to do with his Divine Shield? Because I can already promise you that if we are seeing that double Jaina coming in play after play after play, that there's going to be 3 heroes crying for Divine Shield. It's going to be Kel'Thas, Zagara, and Illidan, and all 3 of them are going to be Divine Shield me now! Heal! Where's my healer? Because if you get hit by a double Jaina, Blizzard, and Cone of Cold, then, well, God have mercy on your soul. You are very unlikely to survive that without the help of your support player.
Zarmany very nearly getting the tribute, but Shihu is here to interrupt this. And you were talking about Abathur's just sort of throwing out talents. We have the Ballista Pause coming in on level 4.
I like it because he can move out on the map and get into those bushes a little bit faster, and also, of course, he can throw them anywhere on the map. We're probably going to see the level 7 talent for him as well. Snitch is the one in trouble, actually. Jaina is dead. Zarmany now attacked too. Without the level 10, Abathur can do very little to help them out here. Bakery is getting dropped now too, and this is bad news for Bob. I mean, they are getting completely enumerate this early in the game. They lost just 2 of their heroes. They soaked experience at the bot lane with Abathur, but now they're also losing another tower there. That didn't really go the way that they wanted this to start off. So yeah, they have to wait for the level 10s if they really want to take team fights. At this point, they just can't make it happen.
They're not too far behind in XP though, despite losing most of that, due to the fact that Abathur was soaking the bot lane the entire time.
Yeah, exactly. So Abathur was positioned at the bot lane in the bush, as already showcased. We have Hardened Bones now taken on level 4 for Leoric, who is, of course, in a double tank position right now, compared to the last game where we saw Leoric run by Gamers2, the Polish team running him as the solo tank in the team. The talents that we have, no Boundless Conviction this time on Uther. It's getting more and more popular for Uther players here, but we have Protective Shield. And with the level 7 talent, there it is, the Sins Exposed. We're also seeing now the Fission Bomb taken, and another tribute on the map, which is potentially being picked up by Gamers2 again, since we're still fighting without the heroic abilities here.
Bob are on the way up, though, with every single one. Bashik being dropped very low very quickly, but Zarmany being forced to jump away to his team. Affair Angel, though, with a very nice angle here, is trying to body block Juve out a bit. But once again, Zarmany getting dropped low has to back away, and they have to give up this shrine. And hopefully not give up Zarmany, as, once again, he's barely able to escape.
They can disengage here, but yeah, team fights are going to be a problem for them until they have the Abathur copy ready. We're seeing, by the way, on level 7, as predicted already, the Vile Nests taken, so if you go for the Global Mines, then normally that's the talent you will see coming in next. There's another option on level 4, where you can, of course, go into the extra charge on the mines, which is also very annoying, especially if it's a smaller map, where Abathur can reach most of the places on the map without even relying on the global. We have now both of the teams on level 8, and that really just shows the power of AD Artie with his Abathur split-soaking experience while the teams are fighting for tributes.
Yeah, they've lost basically every tribute and pretty much every fight so far, and yet are still keeping up thanks to Abathur. That is the beauty of it. We can even have a look, very quick look, at his XP gain, assuming I can remember which button it is. There we go. He does have 3,200, about the same as Muradin, but Muradin's been in lane basically constantly as well.
Exactly. Muradin has been on a solo lane just constantly, and this just shows pretty much what he's currently able to do here. It's of course going to increase as the game progresses. For now, we have both of the teams just aiming for a few more bruiser camps here. The important part is really that this next tribute is going to curse Team Bob, and that is a problem for them right now. I mean, an early curse is not as difficult to handle as one later on in the game, but at this point, if you're getting cursed, that is an issue. So right now, Bob has to fight over this one, and they're trying to, but this is a battle still without the level 10s, meaning without the copy on Snitch's Jaina, but they're still able to zone the opponent. Shehu is trying to move in, but he's too late, and the tribute is already taken by Bob. They move away with Leoric. He might die. He will die to Juve. Or will he? Yeah, he does, but still, they get the tribute, they only lose one hero for it, and they still have Abathur at the top lane soaking EXP.
Abathur, really the saving grace for Bob in this game. They're not going to hit level 10 first, but they are going to hit it very quickly after Gamers2. And this is going to be their chance to begin their comeback. Because grabbing that tribute was the only thing that Bob needed to do there. Because if they'd lost it, they would have had level 10. They would have had Gamers2 pushing in with a curse and level 10s before them.
Okay, at this point right now with the level 10s, with finally also the ultimate evolution taken here with a 50-second cooldown, the new cooldown, thanks to the 20-second cooldown reduction, they have to go into these fights with the double Jaina every single time. They can occasionally even throw out another tank if they really want to, but it's more the damage that really counts, and that was something they've been missing in the last few battles, so now they can use that. And Snitch up here at the top is already waiting. There is a tribute. This is one that they have to fight over, and here comes the copy. They're going straight for it.
Adiardi is the one at the front line, pushing forward as he is the clone. He is ever so slightly expendable. The Water Elemental already down from Snitch. Adiardi already expired, though. The Divine Shield used on Johanna this time. March of the Black King interrupted by the boar here, but Zagara still goes down.
Zagara goes down, and the rest is now being attacked as well. Once again, we have a Blizzard, and down goes Johanna. And that's exactly what they've been waiting for. The Abathur copy moved in, soaked a lot of damage, but more than that, just threw out all of the cooldowns as fast as possible. Snitch a bit more in the back line with the Water Elemental. And then, with the damage already pushed in, they could move in and take the opponent down. And it's really so difficult for Uther to keep all of them alive during all of this. So very nice fight here for Bob. They now have the level 10s, and this is really where the game begins for them.
Yeah, they did exactly what they needed to do. It was very unlikely they were going to win the early game versus this composition. What they did is they didn't lose the early game. They didn't really get anything out of it, but they got the one tribute they needed, and they were able to get level 10 at a very even time, and that is allowing them to take a lead that they, well, really shouldn't have at this point, considering how badly the early game went. They just played it perfectly.
They played it very well, but of course this is not, that doesn't mean that the game's over for Gamers2, not even close. This just means that right now it's a fair fight, since we now have in those battles 2 damage dealers if you so want, since Abathur is going to run that copy on Jaina every single time. I mean, just look at the cooldowns. They're ready again for them, so they can fight for this tribute, and this is going to be the cursed tribute. This is going to be the important one for both of the teams, and Snitch is just waiting for that copy, already positioning himself a little bit in the back line. Abathur is going to run that copy any second now, and then we're going to see them fight again. Abathur not doing it just now. He's actually waiting. There it is. A little bit late maybe. They already took quite a bit on damage, but Chico on the other hand is again low. Gets a Divine Shield. Divine Shield on Johanna, meaning that there's no support for Illidan. Illidan gets attacked and nearly dropped. Can they take him down? The copy is gone, and the Maw was good, and they get the kill against Murden. Well played by Gamers2. Great fight here for them.
And Snitch now being chased down, he will be able to get out, and that was a bit of a late ultimate evolution from Abathur there. However, both bosses were able to get a fort. Level 13 is hit by Bob first, but they now have to play defensively. Abathur taken down in the mid lane. Wow,
that should not have happened. So they take Abathur, but as you already said, I mean, we've been talking about it during the fight. That was a really, really late copy, and the problem, of course, that you have with the ultimate evolution is take it too early, your opponent is going to disengage, and you're not going to get anything. But there is a fight for the tribute, so if there's a disengage, you're still okay with it because you get the tribute. Right now, they have to fight here again, and they are down the copy, and Muradin! Wow! Oh my god, and he just barely survives it. That would have been a brutal kill against them.
Yeah, he does stay alive. A Pharaoh Angel taking quite a bit of damage as well. Level 30 is now available. Chain Bomb and the damage able to take down the Pharaoh Angel here, and Bob starting to look a little wobbly.
Yeah, they are starting to run into that vicious cycle where you just lose hero after hero. You find yourself in a 4 versus 5, and just before your 5th hero is back to business, you lose another one, and you are in this endless cycle where you're down a hero and can't really fight. And they need to break it, and now they will have Leoric back, and then that is a chance for them to make something happen here. They might lose a bit more up at the top, but they need to have the copy ready in time for the fights, or they will lose them.
Yeah, they need to use it at the right time and get your positioning. It was a very good morph for Gamers2, not taking anything away from them here. They played that fight very well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, totally true here. It was a great maw, and they also used it with very good damage there. It's just they took too much damage, or Bob took too much damage at the beginning of the fight without having the potential of fighting back yet. I like, by the way, the build that we are seeing for ADR. We've been talking about the versatility of a hero like Abathur, and currently he has gone for the mines on 4 and 7, and since he wants to go into so much transference and then also the level 16 talent, he went into the pressurized glance for level 1 to get the extra range on the spike burst. So there's a lot of synergy in this build in general. It's a very annoying build as well. It allows him to jump all over the map to get some vision with the mines, jump in, soak experience, and then of course beyond that also help out in the team fights after the copy is down. The whole idea is just like, go for the Jaina copy, burst in all the damage that you have, soak some damage, and then once that they take the copy down, jump in with the symbiote and help out.
Yeah, also get XP all the time, especially Ballistapor's really good here, due to the fact that Abathur no longer has to wait for a mine to finish placing before he can tunnel to it. Just putting a mine down, even before it finishes, gives him vision of somewhere enough to tunnel there.
Yep. Stitch snitches up at the bot lane together with Abathur, taking down that camp. Both of the teams now on level 16. And this is of course where we are seeing now for Rhaegar. This is like the moment for Rhaegar to shine. Finally that cooldown reduction on level 16 with the tidal waves. It's an incredible talent. It's just so good to get these chain waves in over and over again. Stone Form and Venom Spines, like all these talents are great. Nice move here, Bakery getting away, actually applying that to himself, that cleanse, and making sure that that was not a full gravity lap, so that would have gone very different.
Here we go, they're coming in, ADRD and Snitch both here, they already take down Zagara, down goes Uther, so much damage, ADRD finally expiring, but Pharaoh, Angel and Zarmany are not done yet, they want Nicker, the shield is on him, but with so much CC, he is getting locked down, and he will be taken out, and Bob, this time, they used the Ultimate Evolution right at the start, and that gave them the control they needed. They took the risk, because, well, the cooldown is enough for them to do so.
Welcome to Burst City, double Jaina, pretty good. So, at this point, we have Zarmany. They get it, just a bit too short. Oh, well, in this case, it is Johanna trying to get in the quick move with the shield glare, but nope, the curse against Gamers2. There are still 3 heroes down, not for long, but long enough to allow Bob to move into the mid lane. And by the way, Ultimate Evolution is up again, so that 50-second cooldown is incredibly short, and you will be guaranteed to have those copies up every single fight.
Yeah, you can take that risk, although on the downside of that, if they hadn't actually won that fight, then it would have been down for actually fighting over the tribute. So that was a risk, but it did work out in their favor.
Yeah, it's true. It definitely worked out for them. It's so much burst. If you look at target down, we've been talking about this a bit, but if you hit that Storm Bolt and suddenly 2, 3, 4 Blizzard Waves hit a target together with everything else that you can add to the equation, that is incredible. There is the Divine Shield. There are Ancestral Healing against Ethereal Angel. They need to go for the boss right now. Shiro is on the spot. Muradin jumps away. A lot of damage against ADR. You got the damage in with his copy on Jaina. Ethereal Angel is... Oh, they steal it away. They steal the golem away. Gamers2 with kill after kill. Unbelievable. They are about to take down Snitch now too.
The Game of Thrones is going back and forth right now. Muradin jumps the wall to escape Bakery. Already in wall form and Snitch mounted up. They will get away with this. But both teams just throwing over different things. And now with that boss pushing and an easy cap, this is great for Gamers2. They can almost definitely get a keep for this.
That was
if they
really well done.
It.
Yeah, they go... Well, actually, like, even without it, that is going to do a significant amount of damage, and Gamers2 is just simply moving into the mid lane, because that guarantees them at least 1 keep, and could potentially drop 2. So this is great play here by them. They get the keep. That was exactly the fight that they needed. Take down the team, steal the boss away. It's a dream come true for them now.
Yeah, well, Bob managed to be the first throw pit of the day. Really not great for them at all, but they are still ahead in XP, despite missing a keep. So they do still have an opportunity to come back with this. We'll see Zarmany head down to that bot lane to deal with these Siege Giants.
Zarmany moves in to take both of them down, and they at least don't get the drop against the second keep, but up at the top we're having the boss now attacked. Gamers2 should be careful, because they are still behind in experience, which I, by the way, find incredible. That's also, of course, thanks to Abathur, who by now has 12,000 EXP, 13,000, more than Leoric, and Leoric is a hero that you send always to an off lane to soak experience and push the lanes back, so ADRD has been doing a great job just being on the map and soaking EXP while the fights are happening.
Right now, we're seeing Gamers2 gathering kind of around that boss area, thinking about a throw pit of their own. We think Mine from Abathur will spot this. Illidan is on the way, so is Kael'thas. But thanks to the Abathur mine, Bob do know about this, and they are on their way. Leoric's so far away, though.
Yeah, they have to push those back a bit, and buy some time. I don't think they can. Double Jaina is there. If everybody moves on the spot, those blizzards are gonna hurt, and it looks like that's exactly what's gonna happen here. Phoenix already in play, Ethereal Angel coming in from the backline, Divine Shield already being used on Zagara. She's moving away here. A lot of damage against Ethereal Angel in particular, but the March of the Black King is getting him up to heal again, and he gets an Ancestral Healing now too.
Zagara using her more again to just guarantee that boss being taken. And we're going to see a Feral Angel go down here. Leo from Korea will drop as well, though, so that's currently 1 for 1. But we're seeing Bob aren't done yet. They get Illidan. They're going to continue to chase this here, but Johanna is not the target for this. Instead, they're moving on to Nika, seeing if they can take him down. Snitch with the slow. There's the Blizzard, and down goes Kael'thas. But Johanna is pushing top lane with the boss.
Yeah, Johanna's pushing the top lane, so they can't capitalize on it. They will get the tribute. That's not going to help them too much. It's the first tribute for either one of the teams, and now we have Johanna still pushing this in. Snitch is there, trying to punish her, but the only thing that Chihuahua tries to do is drop keep number 2, and it looks like he's going to get that wish granted with the Siege Giant camp and the boss pushing in, even with him dying. It doesn't matter. They get the keep.
Yeah, his life for the keep, and that is now 2 keeps going over the Gamers 2. Bottom keep has only just over half health, so they can go down and get that as well. And despite still being behind in XP, even though both teams are level 20, Gamers 2 in a very good position because there's so much pressure onto Team Bob here.
There's a ton of pressure on them now, with 2 keeps lost and the 1 keep at the bot lane being extremely low. That fight was nice. It's 9 kills against 8, and they are a bit ahead, but still, this is an issue. Hive Mind taken on Abathur. That talent got changed a bit now too, so the way that the talent worked in the last patch was that initially when you were using it, you had Hive Mind or Symbiote on 2 of the heroes, but once that they moved away from each other, you lost 1 of the symbiotes. Now it's just like researching for heroes that are close enough every single second, which is amazing, so that you get that extra damage in, even though it's now only half the damage and half the shield that you get on the second symbiote, but it's still pretty damn good.
Oh, Yuva having to get out of there. He does have Bolt of the Storm exactly for that reason, so he is able to escape here. And now both teams moving up to that tribute. Bakery going to try and take this, while Zarmany zones out Adiardi using that clone just to be sure, and they do get this.
It's actually interesting that Illidan went here for the Bolt of the Storm. Usually you see Illidan's going for demonic form, sometimes even for something like Nexus Blades, but in this case it's basically a get out of jail free card that he's using here, because they only have 1 healer and they have only 1 tank, so there's a lot of pressure on the remaining 3, and that is basically his way of saying, I need something that allows me to get out of these battles when they are focusing me with a double Jaina.
But now the ultimate evolution is going to be on cooldown for a little bit, but not for too much longer. Only 35 seconds left before it is back up again. Muradin taking a lot of damage. Ancestral keeps him alive. They're going in for this without ultimate evolution, though. There is the shield onto the Kael'thas, trying to tank him up. Nice more on both the tanks, and Bakery and Snitch don't really know where to go from here.
Well, but they're jumping deep now with Muradin, and of course Abathur can use that Symbiote again, and he will do so in a second, and there it is! They're trying to go for Leo, and Uther is dead, but Ethereal Angel is super low now too. Leoric is already gone, and with Uther in Ghost form, he has such a ridiculously short cooldown on his heals that he can keep everybody alive, already back to business thanks to Redemption, and Zarmany is now being dropped as well. Great play by Gamers2. They are down 1 game in the best of 3 series, but it's looking quite well for them in this second game here, and they might be able to get that win, but it's not there just yet. ADRD on the copy is pushing them back for now, and actually thinks about going for a kill against Nika, but it's just outside the range.
Yeah, he's used that clone, so he's just trying to make the most of it, but he's not going to be able to interrupt the tribute, not going to be able to get a kill, not really getting too much out of it. But once again, Bob's still ahead in XP, and that bottom key is still alive, so they still have a chance, and they're making their way to the throw pit. Muradin or not, they're going to attempt to try and steal this. It's so risky, but they have a chance. If Feral Angel getting in the circle, where is the more to stop it? The Demon's Metamorphosis coming in. Shihu so low here, he won't go down actually. The Indestructible keeping him alive, and Yuva focusing on to Bakery. They do get him. No, they don't get him. They get a Feral Angel. And Bakery able to escape.
That was one of those that was a Hail Mary move that we just saw there, because they said, hey, if we lose that boss now, that boss is gonna drop the last keep. We have to do something. Bakery is being attacked by Nika and is most likely gonna die here, as Yuva is now jumping in as well, and there's just absolutely no chance for Rhaegar to survive this, not with Illidan on his heels. He's jumping in, he's gonna get him eventually. He's just buying time at this point. That boss is moving down at the bot lane, and right now there's no way that Gamers2 is not gonna finish the game here, I think.
Yeah, Zarmany just trying to hold time. Bakery was still alive for a very long time there, but he goes down. Illidan now on the way to join his team, but they don't even need him at this point.
That last attack that we just saw there, they had to do it. They knew that they would probably lose it, but it was the only chance that they had. I mean, they blinked in with Jaina because they knew the boss would finish the game, so it was the last chance that they had. Just Gamers2 maybe throwing, but they didn't. They played this solid in the end, and therefore we are going to see a third game between Gamers2 and Bob to determine another qualifier for the European final in Prague. A pretty sick game on Curse Solo here, very entertaining, and I absolutely loved the Abathur plays that we saw in this game, but also Gamers2 of course with an incredible performance, and they are the ones to claim victory on Curse Solo. The series is tied. We are going to head into the last game, the last map. It is Dragonshire, and now we are going to find out which team will move on, not only to the final of the winner bracket here, there's still a lot of money on the line, 25,000 in total, but which team will already qualify for the European final in Prague? That's the question right now, and we're going to answer that in just a bit. As the lineups here, we're having a Tyrande and Muradin for Bob, so very early sniper squad that they're running with here, and they also have a Khaldor to round this up with a bit of additional damage, whereas on the other side we are seeing now for Gamers2, the Polish team, a Jaina being played, together with an Azebo. They have Uther as their healer. Pretty sick lineups for both of the teams actually, and together we'll see which team can actually take it here. Which team will qualify for Prague, and which team will advance to the winner bracket final. Let's find out together here in Dragonshire. The last game, the last map, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3, the semi-finals here at the Road to BlizzCon tournament. Qualifier number 2, and we have the match between Bob and Gamers2, and it's the last map. The team that wins this one is already qualified for Prague and will find themselves in the winner bracket final. We have Bakery to the left side for Bob on Malfurion, Athero Angel on Leoric, Zarmany on Muradin, Snitch on Tyrande, and AD playing the Khaldor. Starting to the right side of the map, it is Juve for the Polish team on Johanna, Gamers2 with Leo from Korea on Uther, Bashek on Nazebo, Nika on Jaina, and Shiku on Tyrael. Ready for action as the last game is starting up here, and let's find out which team is able to qualify for Prague.
Tyrael starting off with the Horadic Reforging talent, which is the one I was talking about a couple games ago, where you have the reduced cooldown per enemy hit. Oh, sorry, just if you hit an enemy.
Yeah, and look at the mid lane here. All of them just want to go for the fight again. Yuva already moving in, trying to go straight for Khaldor. Zarmany's trying to shield him. And the damage that came in from Jaina was not enough to drop anybody just yet. But yeah, that was a pretty tense moment right there. Nika is making a very bad life choice and is regretting his decision immediately. That was a bit too optimistic that he could get away there.
Mistakes were made, regrets were had, and that is first blood going to Bob, despite the fact that they did blink first in that mid lane and put themselves in quite a lot of danger.
They definitely did. That level 1 talent on Leoric, again, not going for the reanimation, but into the hopelessness. So the increased range on Drain Hope. We're having rotations happening between mid and bot lane, now mainly from Bob, since they won that earlier battle, and therefore have a bit of momentum going for them right now. Already going for another attempt at kill. A lot of lockdown here against Tyrael, but damage against Zarmany and Snitch, and the dwarf jumps away. But like, that is such a traitor. That was such a traitorous move. Like, Snitch and Zarmany were together in that predicament, and then Zarmany was just saying, "Latest, dude, I'm out of here." Jumps away, and Tyrande is just sitting there, dying a painful death. Not cool, Zarmany. Not cool.
Yeah. I think that was more along the lines of Snitch just saying, "Go on without me." Leo accidentally blocking the owl there, but the channel is cancelled somehow, and that does mean both shrines actually going over to Team Bob here.
Yeah, Athero got the, I think the shrine at the top lane just in time to make that work, but that was like a split-second thing there. So very, very close. Too close for comfort, if you ask me. We have now level 4s coming in already for the Polish team, and that means that we are seeing them again with the Arcane Intellect in this case, so the extra mana that you can then get. Shrine at the bot lane, taken this time by Gamers2, the Polish team. And we're having still these Searing Arrows. like, we see in this talent a lot. Normally, it's also with the seasoned marksman on level 1, but in this case, they are relying on the ranger's mark instead. But still, the extra damage thanks to the searing arrows. And they kind of need it too, because you cannot only rely on Khaldor.
Sorry about that, I had to mute my mic. My dog is still making noises.
Okay, that's a new one. So, yeah, the dog apparently disrupting Tetra a bit, but
I
still.
think it's because my parents are home, and, well, they've been away for like 2 weeks, and my dogs are obviously missing them quite a lot.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's a happy dog right there. Huh?
It's a loud dog.
A happy and a loud dog, alright, but one thing that we are seeing right now is a happy Malfurion, well, because he's pretty much alone in the bot lane, but he's not going to be happy for long, since there's a lot of stuns coming in, and that's potentially a kill against Bakery.
He doesn't really have anywhere to run. He manages to bait a gap, but has to run through a blizzard to take it, and that does take him down. Ediardi finds Yuva with that gravity lapse, but is not able to do the damage.
6 levels for both of them, so they're still close in experience. The top lane, where Snitcher and Thera Angel were pushing things back, but now it's 2 kills for 1. And we're seeing both of the teams in the mid lane with 2 heroes trying to stun that out again, but Zarmany's Stormbolt gets blocked by a minion. And ADRD at the bot lane. What the? What? ADRD, what was that?
And the body block and the blizzard down he goes.
That greed, trying to get that regeneration globe and not seeing the... I can't believe that he didn't see them.
That's like me playing Chen or playing Leoric. Must get globe.
Yeah, I mean,
get regen.
He thought that he could get away, I suppose. I mean, they came out of the bush, but I still thought he saw those in time. But yeah, he wants to get the regeneration globe, and he just moves a bit too far out and gets punished for it. That's an unfortunate move, and that, of course, dropped another kill into the hands of Gamers2, who now also took the Siege Giant camp to the right side and have now the bot lane pushing, and that creates some space that might allow them to get a Dragonite, but... fortunately for Bob, we are still seeing them in control of the shrine up at the top lane.
Yeah, they are still keeping control for now, despite the fact they are a level behind. They're just trying to keep control of this game and not let it spiral out of control right now.
Bakery down here, together with Shihu, Leo from Korea, Nika. They are all starting to rotate over again to pressure against Malfurion. Malfurion doesn't really have too much that can help them here. But they need to move in now, and that's a pretty good move. But from the back line, it's Yuva who moves in with a Condemn, and nobody saw him coming. ADRD totally exposed because of it, and gets dropped here. Gamers2 gaining a ton of momentum here, getting a second kill even against Muradin, and they are doing an incredible job. Bakery is also low, and he's gonna die as well. Great play.
He was able to survive for quite a while there, thanks to the healing that he did give himself, but still going to be in a bit of trouble now that he is down, Muradin's down, and once again Leoric, the saving grace here, preventing that Dragonite.
It was actually so funny to see like that double gank. It was basically like Bob over here in the bush trying to ambush the players of Gamers2, and then Johanna comes in from behind, ambushes the ambushees. I need you again.
That makes sense, I guess.
Alright. The ambush... Okay, that just sounds wrong, but yeah. It was actually kind of funny from the perspective of Johanna. She moves in and was like, no you don't. Leave my mates alone. Now we have the level 10s, of course, a bit faster on the side of Gamers2, and they are running this with a Judgment. They also have the Blessed Shield. There's a lot of stuns already on the two of those. With Gary the Gargantuan, no Ravenous Spirit in this game. We have the Water Elemental and also Blessed Shield together with the Divine Shield taken here. And yeah, for now, Bob, they need to get level 10, and it looks like it might be the first Dragonite in the game. Zarmany is going to disrupt this for a bit, but for how long can he really pull that off?
Yeah, Yuva and Shihu will be able to deny that. Will be able to deny him denying it. We did see Khaldor get taken down as well, thanks to that zombie wall from Nazebo.
Yeah, really well done there. I mean, like, first of all, Khaldor's down is a big move, since now it's 7 kills against 1, and there's just additional experience that you drop into the lab. And with also Khaldor's down, it's one of the main damage dealers that you have to deal with the Dragonite, and is suddenly not able to help you out there. The Dragonite doing damage at the mid lane, whereas we have Yuva and Bashek moving up at the top. It's a great split for them. They just rotate in a way that is very difficult for Bob to save their structures here. The walls are broken, and that drops more and more experience into the hands of Gamers2, and they start to take this as a bit of a snowball effect. Very well played here. Great rotations on the map, and they capitalize on those small advantages that they built up early on in the game.
Yeah, Gamers2 looking really solid now. Even with the heroics available for Bob, they're really struggling to find the angle to engage on. There's the Starfall, though. That will at least zone out a couple members. They're trying to get Tyrael here, but Eldarin's might does stop him going down. If Era Angel put very out of position, has to go the long way around, and in fact, it's just going to go to soak.
Yeah, so the stun combo that we're seeing here on the side of Bob not really working out too well for them just now. I mean, at this point, it's really that Tyrande. It surprised us a bit as a last pick for Bob. We expected other heroes, we expected more solid damage like Avala to be taken. There's other options that they had as well. They decided to go into Tyrande, which is great for lockdown if you really have those like those CC chains, which they don't really have. Murder Tyrande is great, but there's very little to follow it up. If you run a Jaina, you have the burst with the Cone of Cold, you also have the blizzards. The problem with Kel'Thas in this mix is it doesn't feel that he has enough burst damage to really hit that on-point damage that you need to really drop a target with it.
Yeah, they're really struggling with it. They're trying to find their opportunities. Harmony, once again, frontlining again, focusing onto Shihu, but it is Tyrael. He's just able to tank that all up. And that's going to be another fort going over to Gamers2.
And it is made possible by them getting 2 camps, so they really time those camps as well. They have the Siege Giants and also those Bruiser camps arriving at the same time. They push in a fort and they move back. Nazeeba's at the top lane, still soaking experience for them. They have an extra talent, they put damage against Leoric, but here's the attempted fight. They're going straight for Jaina. Jaina escaping already using the Ice Block here. Needed to do that. At the same time, we have the Divine Shield now on her, keeping her safe for a little bit longer. Shihu on Tyrael is being attacked now. Shihu jumping away in the last second, trying to go in again against ARD, but Tyrael is dead already. Leoric dying now too, and everybody getting pushed away here, but it looks like Gamers2 is trying to follow it up with even more damage, but they just can't close the distance. It's a 1-for-1 trade in the end.
A 1-for-1 trade, an amazing Tyrael explosion though, catching all 4 retreating members of Bob, and that 100% forces them to play very far back here. We're seeing Leoric Ghost head up to the top lane, just so that he can start soaking experience when he comes back.
Yeah, Leoric is back there and already using that Drain Hope against Johanna. It's so annoying, by the way, if you play Johanna and you are up against the Leoric, because it does so much damage to you and you have no escape. There's no Muradin jump that you can use to get away. There's no Tyrael sword that you can use to just like jump out of the range. It just doesn't work. Against Johanna, Leoric is super annoying. So it's very, very cool to see that happening right here. Thero Angel is pressuring her a lot. 13 talents now for both of the teams, and with that Crushing Hope talent, Johanna is even in more trouble when she goes up against Leoric one-on-one.
Shihu attempting to duke here. There's the judgment though, immediately onto Tyrande, and she gets taken down. Bakery is now the target. ADRD attempting to sneak away in the background while Bakery distracts here with his Ice Block. He will get taken down, but that did give ADRD a chance to be back to base.
They need a 5 versus 5 fight now with level 13. They really need to try to make that happen before we are seeing level 16 drop into the lab of Gamers2, because once they do, they will have the extra talent, and for now Kel'Thas has his mini power spike here. It's not quite Ignite level that we have, but still, using that one talent, using that level 13 talent with the Chain Bomb can help you so much, and they need to get some kills in Tetra. It's 10 kills against 2.
I don't know what they can do. Like you said, they need to get kills. But they're not able to get them right now. Divine Shield on the Johanna to prevent the Dragon Knight from being interrupted. And once again, Bob on the back foot. And how can they really get kills here? Divine Shield is down. This is like their best chance, but they're fighting against the Dragon Knight.
It's one of the big problems that you have when you're going into the Searing Arrows on level 4, not into Pierce, that the arrow or the owl can be blocked, and therefore you cannot just use it to interrupt the Dragon Channel. Now they are losing another one. It's level 16 versus level 14. We have, by the way, now the trade talents on level 13 and 16 for Johanna with Hold Your Ground here, and also with Fanatism. So going into a very sustainable build, especially since we're having her at the front line the entire time with this. Juve is dropping the wall. It's the keeps that are now being pressured. Leoric is doing Leoric things up at the top lane. So Thero Angel just trying to deliver some experience into their hands, and they need it. They need that 16 talent. They can't fight right now.
Yeah, they're just doing whatever they can to get back, and a lot of pressure is on Pharaoh Angel with doing this. He's going to try and grab the fort here, but he has to back up because he's lost vision of Gamers2 and doesn't want to get caught out.
I feel a lot of pressure on Snitch here, because so far he's been a big liability to his team. Not because he does play Tyrande in a way that he makes mistakes, but it's just like Tyrande delivers not really a whole lot at this point. But now she has also the level 13 for the additional heal, but immediately the attack against Malfurion, and he uses Ice Block, but Bakery goes down. And here comes the Thero Angel, just a bit too late. They don't have these heroes together when they need them. Where is that bomb? There it is. Shihu spreading it, of course. Now that's a lot of damage, but AD already can't drop a target, and that is, of course, a problem.
The Tyrael shield also doing a very good job of counteracting this chain bomb style. Working out pretty nicely for them, and they're beginning to push in onto ADRD. They do take him down. A Pharaoh Angel having to back away from this, but Gamers2 putting pressure onto the keep. They're once again focusing Tyrael, and Tyrael able to back away.
They're all backing away here, and Leoric is now dead, and Gamers2 is mercilessly pushing into the mid lane now. They want that keep, and they want it now. 12 minutes in without a level 16 talent for Bob. They are gonna get it. Zarmany trying to punish them for it, moving in and attempting to take one of them down. There comes the stun against the Zebo, but they can keep him alive. A Pharaoh Angel is trying to slow him down a little bit. Bashik is actually in a lot of trouble here. Dodging this one, though, and the Divine Shield as a last resort from Uther, making sure that he's actually going to get away.
Uther had barely enough mana to do that, by the way. Like, he just got enough to drop that down in time.
The one thing that I also want to highlight again, in case that you guys didn't know that yet, is that there was a bug on Malfurion until the last patch where apparently his Tranquility would heal him for himself only for twice the normal amount. That's one of the reasons why with Tranquility in the patches before this he was able to just stay alive in those team fights, and therefore it is a bit easier to drop him now after that ice block is gone. So that's a really important thing to know when we're talking about Bakery being attacked over and over again during these team fights.
Yeah, he's just too delicious a target to really give a miss here. Gamers2 trying to steal away that easy camp. They've already taken their own, and they will also grab that bottom shrine, thinking about the Bruiser camp as well, but instead are going to push with those two easy camps.
They need to make sure that they get a decent setup for a team fight and that they finally get the damage in, but they are getting jumped every single time. Again, they're going in, and it looks like Khaldor's might drop here. Khaldor's down. These rotations are brutal. Gamers2 is exploiting their position so much, and they always get a kill. It's never really this 5 versus 5 situation that we're seeing in the game. There's always a hero missing, and Gamers2 is just mercilessly taking them out, one hero after another. 2 heroes down, they go for the keep. Tesha, this could be game.
I think it might be with 2 sets of Siege Giants here. Gamers2 are going to keep pushing in, and I can't help but feel maybe Khaldor should have taken his mana shield as well, just for any kind of extra protection, but Leoric has just been back to help out here, trying to do anything to save this game for his team. Bakery and Snitch on their own do not do much damage. They're going to take down Leo from Korea here, but he does have redemption, so he'll just be right back, and that's going to be game.
ADRD comes in, but he's a bit too late for this one, and this is match and game. A 2-1 victory for Gamers2 here in the winner bracket semi-final, and therefore Gamers2 qualified to play at the European final in Prague. Napierdalai, the Polish team, they do it, they take the victory, they lose the first map and then they win 2 in a row. Gamers2 advancing now to the winner bracket final and therefore qualified for Prague. Congratulations to them, extremely well played here, and that was well deserved. So great job by them, moving on to play in Prague and make sure of course that they have also a shot at the prize money here at the tournament. And well guys, Bob of course is not out of it just yet, they still have a chance, they are currently in the losers bracket, and that's where they will get another opportunity to qualify for Prague. So we're going to follow them through the tournament even more. We're going to cast a few more of their games in the near future. All of them will be up on the channel here, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you want to make sure that you don't miss these games. And if you like the coverage of this best of 3 series, you're always welcome to hit that upward button here on YouTube, hit that like button, and guys, I guess I'm going to see you next time with even more Road to BlizzCon on Khaldor TV. So have a great day and see you soon. Bye bye.